What's poppin', everyone? You already know who it is, coach of the Chim Chargers, and we're here today finally with WBE Semifinals. Lord Emvee himself versus my great friend It's Gator, coach of the Florida Gators. And I guess a great way to describe this matchup is Superman versus Kryptonite. Gator is my Kryptonite. I have not been able to beat him throughout I think like the 3 times that I faced him in previous leagues, and then once in this league where we actually played him during the regular season. And I think we actually would have won that game, but he did get fortunate. However, he did get the win there, so that makes it so that we have to win this game. We just have to, right? Because if we lose, then we're out, and we've come so far, so I hope we don't lose, but this may or may not be our last game. We'll see. Now, let's take a look at Gator's team here. He's bringing a squad that consists of Archeops, Kangaskhan, Zero Aura, Donphan, Heatran, and Mega Heracross. So, pretty cool team. He has some changes as opposed to the last time that we played him, which was during the regular season. Now, Kangaskhan is a new mon that he has on his team. I think he swapped out Buffalo at some point, which he did bring last time, and then now he has Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan's a good mon. It has priority fake outs, a bit faster, can still hit pretty hard. We gotta watch out for that. And then Mega Heracross, which he has had throughout the season, but he's never brought it versus me. That's something we also got to watch out for. It's a very hard hitter. We have barely any switch-ins to it if he makes the right predictions. So either way, he has a couple potential rockers actually. He has Archeops, Donphan, Heatran. Like all those things, they set up rocks. So I'm sure he will guarantee get up rocks versus us. There's nothing we can really do about it. And yeah, so hazard control is probably going to be Rapid Spin Donphan, maybe. Other than, like, I guess Defog Archeops, but I really doubt that he'd bring Defog on Archeops. It's just not a mon to bring Defog on, in my opinion. And for that very reason, I decided to change up my play style for this game versus Gator. I knew that if I wanted to beat him, I had to bring something that could catch him off guard, firstly, and something that he just would not expect me to bring. And so what I did with this team was I started with the Rotom. And Rotom is actually dual screens, and I went from there. So it's a dual screens Rotom with Reflect and Light Screen. And the way that I wanted to go about this match was because of the fact that his overall roster didn't really have any great defoggers, that I could be very safe in getting up screens and making sure that they stay on the field, which could in turn help us out a lot. Because last time I played him, a lot of my mons sort of went down to different roles and stuff, and it was kind of annoying. But with screens up, that could be kind of cool. So we'll see how that goes. I got the dual screens Rotom. I have Scarf Dougie so that we can outrun Zero Aura and Scarf Heatrans and all those kind of stuff, and be able to knock those kind of Pokemon out, trap them and knock them out. I have Mega Sceptile in the squad here that I brought, which is just 4 attacks. A mixed attacking Mega Sceptile, just can click buttons. Now we get into the real heat. Registeel I brought here is Rock Polish Weakness Policy, which works well behind screens. And then I have a Flame Charge Weakness Policy Victini, which works well behind screens. And then a Power Up Punch Z-Move Azumarill with Farium Z. So the way that I wanted to go about this was lead Rotom, try to set up screens, and go from there. I did not bring rocks myself. I did not bring any kind of hazard control. I just intend on trying to get up screens and trying to knock out as many things as I can as quick as I can. I figured he'd lead with one of his rockers, so let's get right into it and see how this game goes, and let's see what happens in the semifinals of the WBE versus my Kryptonite. It's Gator. He challenges me, and this may or may not be his first mistake. I still gotta start that off with it, even though I know it might be my first mistake. But he leads with Archeops as I lead with Rotom. I figured that whatever he wants to do, my Rotom is EV to live any hit from an Archeops. And so I can just get my Reflect up as he gets up his Stealth Rocks. And I know for a fact that he has 5 physical attackers and 1 special attacker in Heatran. So the Reflect, I think, can be a really helpful component to this game. I try to go for Volt Switch on the Archeops as he just brings in the Zero Aura. Predicting a knockoff here, I'm going to go into my Azumarill. I don't think he'd go for a Plasma Fist at all. And my Azumarill is Z-move, so it will not get its item knocked off. As you can see, he goes for knockoff. My item does not get knocked off here, and then he goes for the Plasma Fists. However, now because I am behind screens and he may not want me to set up a Belly Drum, he went for the attack here. But I take the hit really well, and I can fire off my Farium Z. He didn't really have any great switches to it, or anything that would want to switch in on an Azu that would take it really well. Like, he wouldn't bring in Heatran versus Azu. So this Twinkle Tackle here, let's see how much damage it does to Zero Aura. So it's going to be able to, get the nice Twinkle Tackle, kick that Zero Aura into outer space, and knock it out from full health. And so Zero Aura, the fastest mon on his team, biggest threat, was gone. Now he brings in Kangaskhan here. So he's going to be able to get the Fake Out, stall my Reflect, another extra turn, then go right for the Double Edge. We live that because of Reflect once again. So Azumarill carrying its weight here, being able to knock off its Silk Scarf, making it weaker, and then getting some chip damage with an Aqua Jet before he goes right for the Double Edge to knock us out. So Azu put in a lot of work, definitely, to start us off in this game. So we still have, we still have a Reflect up, I think, and I can go here into my Sceptile, as I can go ahead and Mega Evolve to pick this Kangaskhan off. He doesn't really have any great switch-ins to a mixed attacking Sceptile if I have coverage for everything on his team, which I actually do. I have coverage for literally everything on his team. We get a crit here, doesn't matter. Kangaskhan was weak enough anyways to get knocked out. And the Reflect wears off right now. So we can get up screens later on, that's sort of my intention, but right now I just want to weaken everything I can while I'm staying in. So he brings in the Mega Heracross here. Mega evolves as I go right for the HP Flying, Hidden Power Flying here. Able to do a lot of great damage to this Heracross, but he definitely has some kind of bulk investment because he was able to take the HP Flying, knock me out with a Pin Missile. And so Mega Sceptile goes down. And what I can do here is bring in my Victini. Now, I could go and try to get up screens again, but I want to save my Rotom because it's a great answer or a great response to Donphan. So I save Rotom here. I go into Victini to try to pick this off with the Flame Charge, but he goes Heatran to save Mega Heracross, which is fine because maybe he wants to save it for Registeel. But we'll see what happens. I go right here for the Focus Blast, knowing that it can 2-hit KO an offensive Heatran, as he definitely is an offensive Heatran. In fact, he is a Flame Charge Heatran. At +1 speed, I'm not too worried because Scarf Dugtrio can outrun it. Whatever happens here, if he's able to somehow knock out Victini, then Dugtrio can revenge. But he is actually going for the Corkscrew Crash here. So he does not go for Earth Power. I could still probably live in Earth Power from this range, and I would have been able to activate my weakness policy, but he actually went for the Corkscrew. Still got some pretty good damage on myself, but I am able to knock out this Heatran with the Focus Blast. Thankfully, with the Victory Star, I get that little accuracy boost there to hit 2 in a row, which is great. So he brings in Archeops. I don't really have a switch out because of Stealth Rocks and stuff, and I don't really want to get anything weakened, especially my Registeel, in case he had Earthquake. So I let Victini go down. Victini just got rid of Heatran, so that's amazing. And then I go into my Dugtrio here. Now you may be wondering, once Heatran and Zero Aura are gone, what is Dugtrio useful for? Well, I'm about to show you right now. As he goes into Donphan, probably predicting a Rock type move, I click Memento. Now what is Memento going to do? Let me tell you right now. It's going to lower this thing's attack and special attack. We mainly want it to lower the attack, and it's essentially equivalent, I think, to like a Reflect basically, or just screens being up. That's what Memento is useful for. So we sack Dougie, going for the Memento, and then go into Registeel. He actually reveals that he's a Rock Polish Donphan. He's actually Rock Polish Donphan, but I'm Rock Polish Registeel. Check this out. He's faster than me though, so I think he goes to the Rock Polish again to try to outrun me in case I go for another one here so that I won't be faster than him. But I go right for the attack, and as you can see, it does some great damage. It does a lot of great damage. My Registeel is EV'd to not get 2-hit KO'd by Donphan after a Reflect or anything like that. It's a 3-hit KO, so he actually ends up not going for any kind of Earthquake or anything like that. I found out later he didn't have Earthquake, which was kind of weird to me, but if he did have Earthquake, the Earthquake would have procced my weakness policy. I would have just destroyed the Donphan and the rest of his team. And if he did switch out and come back in an Earthquake, my Registeel takes the hit, then activates weakness policy. So it's not like, so we would have enough turns to win, to win versus Donphan with Registeel. So Registeel can just clean up the rest of his team now, and knock out Mega Heracross and Archeops respectively. Archeops being his last Pokemon on the field, and that is going to be GG. It is Emvee. Really intense game versus Gator. It was just sort of like us both bringing offensive teams and trying to and I guess realizing that we didn't have switch-ins to each other. And it really sort of came down to us having the screens. Like I think the Reflect and the light, we didn't even have to set up light screen basically, because like his team had 5 physical attackers. All we had to do was set up a Reflect, and that sort of gave us the upper hand in taking less damage from his more offensive moves. And I think that was really helpful overall. I'm glad that we both got to show off a lot of our tech. He got to show off his Flame Charge Heatran, his Rock Polish on Donphan. I guess a lot of his mons, or basically everything on his team, was able to do something on the field. And same for ours, same for our team. You know, we got to see I guess everything, and I'm just so glad we got to see like Twinkle Tackle Ozzy. I wanted to show that off, and I wanted to show off the Rock Polish Registeel, which we did as well. And yeah, that's gonna be that. So hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think. Of course, we are gonna be playing, I think, my boy Wolf in the finals. That's gonna be intense for sure. He is back-to-back WBE champion, and I definitely really want to win this for sure. So I'll see if we can do that. Hopefully we'll see. But yeah, GG to Gator. Be sure to check him out and watch his side of the game as well. Looking forward to hearing from you all though, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.